Hi, I'm Joleen Lunzer.
And I'm Sarah Atwood.
We're YouTubers.
We're entertainment and pop culture fanatics.
But most importantly, we're friends.
Good Pop is a weekly podcast where we chat about pop culture, entertainment, life, and share some good news stories.
Because right now, we could all use some good in our lives.
So sit back, relax, and get some of this good pop.
Woohoo! It's Saturday, which means it's good pop. I am one of your hosts, Joleen Lunzer, and I'm here with my co-host, Sarah Atwood. Sarah, how are you?
Hello. I am wonderful. That intro always just gets me jamming.
I know. I'm
always dance.
Moving my little shoulders. I do. The way you recorded the intro, I feel like you're like a professional voiceover for real, Sarah. Like you.
It's almost like I have a degree in acting and have been auditioning for the last 20-something years.
It's so good that every time I listen to it, I want to re-record my version because I feel like mine is very well. It's very. I don't know if you ever watched John and Kate +8 back in the day.
Did.
Okay, I did. Do you remember her when she would do any kind of intros? Mine's like that. But most importantly, we're friends. Very robotic. And I remember there was Kate would say stuff in the beginning. Like then we had kids, and I feel like I'm Kate Goslin. My delivery is very Kate Goslin.
No, you are not. You are not at all. That's hilarious.
So but props to Sarah because that's a beautiful intro. Hello to everyone. Thank you for joining us for our 11th episode of the Good Pop Podcast. Last episode was so awesome and special, and it's all out there on YouTube and also iTunes. I finally got up to date with have all our episodes out there for you guys to check out on iTunes. I think I was like 2 behind for posting. And I'm behind on Married to Bravo. It's like, I forget that I have to take these and put them on iTunes. So apologies to our iTunes friends. I will be better about that. And we had Mama Bev and the astrology. And it was just it melted my heart. And it was so fun.
It was. Thank you for having my mom on, Jolene. It was very lovely.
I'll have her back every day, all the time. And yesterday, Nana and I, during our Married to Bravo podcast, Nana was just raving over Mama Bev.
Oh my gosh, she was. You guys were being so lovely. I had to tell my mom. I sent her the link, and I was like, you need to watch this.
Good.
They're talking about you. They think you're young.
Well,
I was like doing the math. I was like, Nana thinks that she was like 15 when she had me.
Nana thought Mama Bev was the original teen mom.
Yeah, this doesn't add up, Nana.
But Nana's like obsessed with Mama Bev. So she already sent me her best friend's info. So I have to send all this to Mama Bev and acquire her services. So we're very excited for that. So so if you didn't check out last week, definitely check it out. And so this week we have fun news, pop culture news, celebrity news, some good news. Sarah, but first we like to get caught up on how our weeks have been going. How have you been? You look adorable.
Well, thank you. My hair is just driving me absolutely crazy. I've given up and we're just doing ponytails. So I appreciate that that's acceptable.
Totally.
To you.
Look at me. I mean, hello.
Yes, good. See, we're all about the ponytails around here. I had what are they called? Like oh my gosh, what are words? I don't know words anymore. Back in time on Instagram, reminded us
flashback.
A year ago. Yeah, thank you. A year ago, you posted this, and it was a memory of the first time we ever recorded together, Jolene.
Me and you?
Yes, and I posted it on Nerdtainment Instagram. I should have put it on Good Pop as well, but it was, our cute little pic that we took the very first time you came over. We shot a Big Brother recap.
I think I was wearing this shirt.
You might have been. That's one of your faves.
I think I was wearing this shirt. I mean, I think I was. I think I had bright pink hair, right?
You did. You definitely had pink hair.
Yep.
I remember that because I was jealous. I miss my pink hair. I just would love to have it back. But yes, it was kind of crazy because it feels like I've known you forever. I feel like I've known you for years. And the fact that was our first meeting in person, we had obviously known of each other online and talked just a smidge via the internet. But that was the first time we met in person. And from that moment on, we were like, we're going to do more stuff together.
Yeah, I remember coming over to your house. I had never really met you before. Obviously, online we talked and stuff, and I was excited, but you're nervous. You're going to someone's house. And Jovi greeted me, and it was so sweet. Sarah's dog is just the cutest and the sweetest. And you had guacamole out, and we had some chips. We watched Big Brother. And it was like we went right in because the episode started as I got there. So we went right into watching this episode. And then we started kind of talking during commercials and stuff. But it was such a interesting, fun, like an intro to someone, because it's a little different because you feel like you know them through online. Yeah, so I felt comfortable, but I was still like, I've never really sat with her before, but this is fun.
Yeah. You're like, hi, come into my house. Hi, let's watch Big Brother together.
Exactly. It was so cool. And yeah, like Sarah said, after that, we've just been like, can we work together all the time? Because then I fell in love with Sarah. I was like, this is so fun. And I got to see her studio. So you guys have seen that for so long. And it's just really neat. It's a whole setup. Like it's very professional. It's very cool.
I try.
So
how was your week besides not sleeping?
That's the thing. This week, I really pushed myself with videos and stuff. And I felt, was it yesterday or the day before? So when the Julie Chen tweet came out for Big Brother with the, 22 before the big announcement, when she was just kind of teasing us, I was like, I got to do a video. So then I was up till 3 a.m. And then I have a day job where I have to wake up at 8 a.m. So I then get like no sleep. And as you get older, not getting sleep feels like a hangover.
Right.
Where
we don't bounce back like we used to.
I was like, Chel's saying, you have to stop doing this to yourself. Because I'm just on the couch, like, I can't move. And I don't drink or anything anymore. It's been years and years and years. So I'm like, this is awful. I just wanted to eat like bad food. I told Sarah, I woke up. I feel like I'm in college again. I went to bed at 3 a.m., then had to wake up for work, which would have been class. And I had pizza and ranch for breakfast. And then I'm totally not treating my body well at all.
That's not good. You spiral. You don't sleep, then you eat bad, which makes you more tired. And then it just, it goes from there. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like, I was so excited about BB and I'm so excited to make BB content, but I also have to remember that maybe I could wait till the next day.
Yeah. You know what? And sometimes it helps to wait till the next day because you get more info the next day. Like you woke up to a launch date.
Yes.
So it's okay to just take a beat. Well, I forget what it was, but Mama Bev did tell me astrologically that that's something you do, that you're like, well, then I just have to do it now.
Yes. I'm not as far as like patience in like creating or going somewhere, like I've never been someone, how people plan trips, back when we could travel and they would like plan and save up and be all organized. I'm like, let's go now. Let's go right now. Let's go tomorrow. I love just the spur of the moment. I'm like, why plan? Why plan?
Oh my God. I am literally, I feel like that's my middle name, Sarah Plan. Atwood Joleen. Like I will plan even when you don't need to plan. I'm like, let's plan the next 5 minutes. I will do it.
Me, I'm like, let's just see what happens. I just, something that feels so, and again, when Mama Bev read my chart, it made sense. But it is totally, it makes sense. And thank you, Caledonia, for saying that my late night TV was hilarious.
She's always hilarious.
I fell on the ground, but I've been having fun conversations with my niece. I know we like to talk about our little nieces who we adore so much. And my niece, she's 6 now. And Lucy, you guys know, because I've talked about her. She will call. I just love that we can video chat all the time because I can't be close to her physically. And she just, all of a sudden we'll be playing these games. We play games with the filters on Facebook Messenger chat, and she's so like me. She's like, okay, we're going to play the birthday party game. Basically, I'm the oldest sister. It's my birthday. And I tell you not to invite anyone to the party, but then I'm going to be all the characters and I'm going to come try to get in the party. You're going to let them in, but then you'll be worried later. And I'm like, okay. So she plays all these characters and she's like, hi, I'm Claire. Can I come to the party? And then I let them in. Cats and dogs, and then my sister comes back and she's mad at me. It's her favorite game to play. But this week, she interrupted the birthday party game and said, Joanne, can I ask you a question? And I said, of course. And she's like, I just need to tell you something. I'm like, yeah, tell me anything, Sometimes I feel like the dolls are watching me. And I go, what? She goes, yeah, sometimes I feel like the dolls are like watching me in like a creepy way.
Oh no.
And so I'm thinking, dolls. Okay, that is a legitimate fear of a lot of kids or whatever. And I'm thinking, how would a 6-year-old think of this? And then I think she loves YouTube. So I go, have you been watching videos, Lucy, that have creepy dolls in them? She's like, yeah, there's this girl, Collie, on YouTube, and she does videos with creepy dolls and her mom. And like, it's like, she does some good videos too, Joanne, but like, I'm like addicted to it. And I go, okay, I'll try to like, how do I reason to a 6-year-old that like, it's normal to want to be afraid. Some of us have that want to watch scary movies and do things like that. But I said, Auntie Joanne, because she calls me Joanne still. I think now she can pronounce a little better, but I love that she calls me Joanne. I'm like, I like to watch scary stuff too, because I'm obsessed with like American Horror Story and things. But there are times I have to turn off the cold case files because I can't sleep. So I said, maybe you want to just take a break from the Carly creepy doll videos. And I go, I promise you trust me, right? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm a full adult and no doll has ever come alive. And it's not going to happen. And it's make believe. And they do this. I was trying to explain clickbait to her. It didn't work. That's
a bit, it's a layer.
And so then she goes, well, she has a lot of subscribers and she thinks my channel is her channel because we've done a couple of videos together. When I'm back, so she goes, we need to get our subscribers up because they have like 1 million. So she does. She has like 1.5 million. And I go, but Lucy, don't we want to we don't want to lie to people. Because this girl and her mom are literally like putting out these. I watched the videos. I had to check it out. And it's like.
They're like dolls are really scary is what they're saying.
Yeah, they're basically like the dolls are alive and they'll like the lights will go off. And if you're a 6-year-old, this will creep you out. So like to me, in my opinion, I think it's gross. I think a parent that I have issues kind of with family vloggers as it is, but
it's a toughie.
It's a tough one. And when you do this and you're trying to scare kids, I get that's going to make you money and stuff, but do you want to make your money that way? So I was trying to explain to Lucy, like, we wouldn't want to lie to other kids and scare them. We would want to put out more like positive stuff. I go, there's enough things for kids to be scared about, but she's just like, well, I'm going to keep watching it. So she's like, I didn't break through, but I tried to tell her that the dolls aren't watching her,
Oh, wow. Well, tell her that my husband has the same fear.
Really?
He does not like dolls. My grandmother, my dad's mom, was an artist. She paints. She did a lot of wonderful things, and she made dolls for each of us grandchildren. So I have a doll, and it stands on a stand, and it's like fairly, I don't know, like maybe 2 feet high or something like that. It's like kind of tall, and it looks kind of like me, or is it supposed to? It's a brunette. What are you going to do? And he like won't let it in the house. Like the first time he saw it, he turned it around so that it wasn't it was facing the wall basically. And I was like, what are you, this is a sentimental, like sweet thing. And he's like, no, it's now in the garage. Like I couldn't win that one.
I feel like that's a thing that has plagued a lot of children and then into their adulthood. I remember my best friend at the time, she's still my best friend today, but when we were like 11, I would sleep at her house and she would make me watch Puppet Master. And there's like Puppet Master 1, Puppet Master 2. There was way too many Puppet Masters. And my mom, Nana, hates scary anything. She just doesn't like it. So we never watched scary movies. So I was terrified of these dang puppets. And then there was the people under the stairs and there was all these like really creepy movies. And now with YouTube, I mean, so many people can do creepy stuff and but yeah, I don't blame Douglas because he probably saw Puppet Master, but
dolls are fine, y'all. Just give eyes.
Exactly. I used to collect porcelain dolls because Nana would travel a lot for work. And so she'd go to these conferences and she'd always buy me. So around my bed, I had a ledge of all porcelain dolls. Like that does sound kind of creepy and serial killery of me, but I love it.
No, it's cute. I mean, I think it's funny when people poke jokes about like creepy dolls because I think that's ridiculous. The dolls are sweet and fun.
Yeah. But when you think of it through a 6-year-old brain, you're like, oh, how do I explain this, that it's not? So that was what I did this week is just keep trying to have an open conversation about dolls. So yes. All right. You guys are in the chat. Very funny. Do we have a Mama Bev astrology update?
We do. You guys, this past, I believe it was Wednesday, the sun moved into Leo, which means we're going to have about a month's worth of people who were born under the sign of Leo. We all call them Leos. It's going to be their birthdays. Leo is a fire sign, and it is ruled by the sun, which is kind of a big deal because the sun is like the center of our universe. And that's what Leos think they are. They think they are the center of the universe. They think they are the king of the jungle, like the lion is their sign. It is one of the fixed signs. So they do not like change. They could appear to be stubborn to outsiders, but they're very creative. It's the sign of creative self-expression. They want to play. They want to have fun. They're very outgoing people. They're very generous with their family and friends. But they have a sense of royalty. Like I said, king of the jungle. That does tend to give them good leadership qualities, though. They can sort of run something. They can direct something. They have a lot of confidence. They're very ambitious. They'll go after stuff. We have a lot of Leos in Los Angeles. Leos tend to move to big cities to conquer their big dreams, and often because they are confident and outgoing, they like to be the center of attention. And so a lot of actors, we'll see a lot of actor birthdays over this next Leo phase, this little time.
Interesting.
Yeah, they enjoy the limelight. My favorite Leo is David Marker. You guys get ready. We got a David Marker birthday coming up.
David, I love it. David is Sarah. If you don't know, if you're listening later on iTunes, David is Sarah's partner in crime on the Nerdtainment channel. And
yes.
They're great. Well,
and so hopefully these Leos, though, because we're still, well, I guess a lot of the country's not under quarantine and stuff, but the ones that aren't being able to go out and about and do a big hoorah for the birthday, that'll be hard for them.
Yes, my little brother, because Diva's saying her brother is a Leo. My little brother's a Leo as well. He was birthday July 30th. And a lot of that rings true for him, I think. I would be interested to know what his sun and moon and all that stuff is.
Right. Yeah. I think Shafika's asking if a Leo can be introverted. And I think that goes back to the whole like combo. Like a Leo could have other things that make them not as extroverted, but if they're a Leo, they're going to have a little bit of extrovert in them. They're going to be fine talking with people. They're going to be fine with the center of attention. If there's something else in them that maybe balances it out where they don't need to be the center of attention all the time kind of thing. Like David's very good at giving me attention. He's got a good balance. Not all about him.
Yeah, I feel like
about me.
How my brother is too. He's like more introverted in the sense that I was the one that was really like, I spoke for him for many years. My parents said, because he's 3 years younger. So I was like, Billy likes grilled cheese. Grilled cheese.
Well, you're so chatty. You would have to.
Yeah. So I feel like he's very good. He has a big friend group, loves being around more than I do, like a big friend group. He enjoys that. So very interesting. Every time we do an astrology thing, I just learn something new about either myself, you, our loved ones. It's just so great.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Yes. And like Mama Bev saying in the chat, yes, Shafika, introverted, extrovert.
Which is how I feel like I am. Because I'm a Sagittarius, which is another fire sign. So I have a lot of similarities to a Leo. But I have the stuff to balance me. So I'm an introverted extrovert.
Yes. Wow. Leo season then, right? I think
that's right.
Isn't our dear Miranda a Leo? Her birthday is in August.
She's a Virgo.
Oh, she's a Virgo. Okay.
It's right after Leo, which will be next.
I need to know this. And a Virgo is, does Miranda fit the Virgo?
No, she's an earth sign. So she's totally different.
Okay. Never mind. But does what we know about Miranda, does it kind of fit that she's a Virgo?
Oh, yeah. She's classic Virgo.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's get into some pop culture and celebrity.
Give me something, Jolene. Give me something.
I saw that we did talk about Princess Beatrice, and she's officially married. And she is, 31, tied the knot with property developer. I think we already talked about this. But do you know what her new title is?
Oh, are they changing her? She's still always going to be Princess Beatrice.
Well, it's, I guess, because her husband, Eduardo, is that his name? Descends from Italian aristocracy. Technically, he is a count.
Oh.
The princess is now also an Italian countessa and noble donna, which is noble woman. So Eduardo's dad is Count Alessandro Mapoli Mosey. I don't know if I said that correctly. And given that Eduardo is the eldest son, he is set to inherit the family's ancestral seat, which is the 18th century Villa Mapelli Mosey, I don't know if I said that right, palace in northern Italy. Beatrice's full British title was previously Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrice of York. But now that she's married, her title will drop the reference to of York, and she'll now likely be known as Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrice, Mrs. Eduardo Mapelli Mosey.
Aha. Oh, very interesting. Yes, that makes sense that she would drop the York because that comes from her dad. Her dad is the Duke of York. But yeah, a countess or countessa is lower than a princess. So she would take that because of her Italian things, but she should never lose her princess.
Okay. Oh, a little lower. That's very interesting. Now, her dad is Prince Andrew?
Yes.
Or no? Oh, poor girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify because I'm like, it is, right? Because it was Fergie.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad.
Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew.
At least there's her mom. Her mom's a good one, but him not so good.
Look, and I think she and Eugenie, her sister, I think they turned out okay, as far as we know,
Yeah, and I saw her wedding pic, and I know you spoke about it before, Sarah, and it was beautiful.
Okay,
beautiful.
So can I just jump on your toes here because I absolutely have to talk about Princess Beatrice's wedding. I get so excited about all these royal weddings, but this one truly was legendary and iconic. And on one hand, it's such a bummer that we didn't get a big wedding, and because I wake up at 2 a.m. to watch the coverage and watch all of these. And it would have been amazing for her to come out of the car and we would have realized what she was wearing in that moment. But nonetheless, I feel like because they did it, and secret isn't the right word because it wasn't secret. They just did it privately. Mm-hmm. The Queen was there. Philip was there, all the royal dignitaries, Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, they were all there. Princess Eugenie, they were all there. So it wasn't private. It was just not public, and they were being socially distant and safe about it. But what the choices that were made are just iconic. So Beatrice wore the fringe tiara. Mm-hmm. This fringe tiara, y'alls, is from Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria gave this fringe tiara to who eventually became Queen Mary. So she was just Princess Mary of Teck at the time, and she was being set up to marry Victoria's grandson. But that this grandson is going to be king. So they're setting him up with a woman who could be queen. So this crown was given to Queen Mary. Then Queen Mary passed that down to her daughter-in-law, who then is going to be Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. This is Elizabeth's mother. So she had that crown, and then she passed it down to Elizabeth, the current queen. She wore this at her wedding as well. Her daughter, Princess Anne, wore it. This is a super meaningful to the royal family tiara. So giving it to Beatrice to wear in this time, when we're all feeling disconnected and it's a tough time. I feel like this really says, no, we're all together. Look, this crown takes us back to Queen Victoria, who was the longest running monarch until this one right now, Queen Elizabeth. Look, she wore it at her wedding, and now Beatrice is wearing it. We're all still together. We're all London. We're all UK. I'm American. What do I know? But we're all English. We're all this together. And on top of that, Beatrice wore one of Elizabeth's dresses. That's I call amazing. Her Elizabeth, like I'm friends with the Queen. The Queen, the Queen's dress. That's insane. So many of these ladies who are royal or marrying royal are getting the most amazing dress from the recent most amazing designer kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Beatrice took one of the queen's dresses, added some poofy sleeves, and got married.
I know. It surprises me that Kate didn't wear that crown. I feel like as future queen, right?
But she's not royalty. And at that moment, she was just marrying into royalty.
So her daughter could then wear that
in
the future because she's technically royal. Oh, okay. I forget the little rules of the monarchy like that.
Yeah, like to us now, Kate, like she's going to be queen. We think so highly of her. But at the time, like she's just a commoner, a very wealthy commoner, but a commoner marrying into royalty. So she did get a lovely tiara, but she's not going to get one with such weight to it.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that tiara and the dress and everything. I was like, oh, Sarah must be in heaven with this. And Sarah, let me tell you, I love your enthusiasm. And also, you are so educated on this subject.
Well, thank you for calling it educated. Because it's just me wasting a lot of time. I read about this stuff. I follow, like my Instagram account is not American celebrities. It's all royal stuff. Like that's who I follow. That's what I hate to use the word obsessed, but it's like my hobby. Like that's what I like to study is royalty and royal jewels, especially. So I apologize for like going loco just now.
I think it's
like talk. But I have been waiting to talk about it on Good Pop since it happened.
Well, I appreciate your patience. And it's very interesting because you come at it knowing as someone who's like a royal super fan. That's basically what you are. You're a royal super fan. Jay Jobs has a good question and wants to know, would either of you have considered marrying a prince before you were married?
Yeah. I remember being a roughly 6 or 7 years old and telling Mama Bev that I was going to marry Prince William because he was just a couple of years younger than me. So I thought, well, that's the closest one. So that's going to have to do. And my mom was like, do you really want, like, she really had a conversation with me about it. She was like, you have to give up everything, Sarah. Yeah. Do you really want to do that? And I was like, yep, sign me up. Let's go. I'm ready.
Now, you still would as an adult, like if you didn't meet Douglas and you met one of them?
It's too late. I missed the boat. Can't do it.
But let's say a 25-year-old Sarah, would 25-year-old Sarah do it?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think I probably ever would because I'm just such a sassy Sasquatch. I don't think that I mean, putting rules on this one and you can't do this, I'd be like, and you are, and I would just, I would be very kind of
the Meghan Markle.
Yes, and also late Diana, because early Diana thought everything's going to work out, everything, but then she went rogue and gave interviews, and that would be me. I would be like, come on in, I got secrets to tell, and that would totally be me.
Yeah.
So, no, but maybe for a little bit, and then divorce, and then get a payout, maybe.
Do a book,
do a book, something like that. Just to be comfortable in life, but it's a lot. After learning what happened to Meghan Markle, I'm like, I don't know how anyone goes through this.
Right. And Diana, like it's been from the beginning of time. It's that's the reality. You just said it correctly. That's the reality. I live in a fantasy world. But
that's good. I like that fantasy world. I like it. So what do you have for
Okay, well, I was gonna all of that about Princess Beatrice, and I think we did touch on this last week, right, where we said that Captain Tom Moore was knighted, or did I just dream that in my head?
I know you and I talked about it, but I don't know if we talked about it.
So it happened the same day. So the queen went to Beatrice's wedding, and I guess they were like, well, while she's all dressed up, let's have Tom Moore. You guys remember Captain Tom Moore, the 100-year-old with his walker doing laps? Well, the queen knighted him, and the pictures were just absolutely adorable. Aww. Little man with his family, his daughter, and his grandchildren were there with them. They were out on the lawn being safe, and she knighted him. And so he is now Captain Sir Tom Moore, and it's the cutest thing.
Oh, I love that. I love him. He's so cute. I just want to hug him.
Yeah, and even though it happened on the same day as the wedding, Beatrice held back all photos and everything, and she let it be his day, and she waited 24 hours to post pictures of her wedding.
See, and that's how a bride should be. We got to get rid of this whole everyone wants to be a bridezilla. You don't want to be a bridezilla.
No.
Young women, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's one day. Like, you got to think of the relationship coming up as, you know, the rest of your life. But we've just put the marketing that goes into these weddings of just, you know, all these things you have to do. I mean, it is just, it's a little bit of a ripoff, you know.
Yeah, I just went to the courthouse.
Yeah, I just went to Vegas.
It's not that big of a deal, guys.
No, I got my dress for $90 at David's Bridal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rented mine from Rent the Runway.
Oh my God, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Terry is saying that he was wearing all of his military hardware too. How precious.
He wears all those little medals on his little blazer, his little suit. Oh, he's so cute. And he was like holding, because you get something when you're knighted, and he was like holding this up, just couldn't handle it. It was adorable.
He's the cutest and will forever make us happy in this year of 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
So I found, according to Pop Sugar, they were talking about the top 25 pop hits of the summer of 2000. Since we're 20 years out of that, I thought it'd be interesting. I put down some that I remember, and I was going to see, Sarah, if you could guess any of them. I can give you a hint.
Okay.
And let's just see if you can guess, throw out any artists you think who would have had a top, and you guys guess in the chat too, pop. Remember, it's pop. The 25 top hits. So I have some here, so you might be right, and I just didn't write that one down. But let's see if we can guess maybe a couple of the artists and a few of the songs.
Okay, I'm guessing the artist that might have had a hit song in the year 2000.
The summer of 2000, yep.
Goo Goo Dolls.
You know what? No.
I mean, I'm not surprised I'm wrong at all. I had a shocked face, but I'm going to be wrong on most of this.
I probably should have wrote down all 25. Again, Joleen is not the game organizer that Sarah is. So I'm like, she could guess one that I didn't write down.
That's fine. You can say no. I'm going to be wrong.
If it's not on my list, I'm just going to say no.
So it's not on Jolene's list. Matchbox 20.
You know what? Matchbox 20 did have a song. And I don't remember what the name was, but they did have a song. And I actually skipped over that one and didn't write it down because I was like, I was never a big Matchbox 20 fan.
Oh, yeah. No.
While I'm going through this list, I was playing the songs too. And oh my gosh, some of these are real bangers. I mean, I totally forgot. They are banging, slamming, and maybe it's the nostalgia, but I love it. So yes, Matchbox 20 is one of them.
Natalie Imbruglia.
No, Natalie Imbruglia was more like 90s, but
yes, I'm trying to blend the 90s to 2000s. I don't know, Shakira.
Like
pop. Well, Shafika says Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
I'm gonna go with.
Oh, go ahead.
That was 90s, right?
Well, they went into the 2000s. So
okay.
That summer, there was a very popular boy band that had a big hit where they were dolls in the video, and they busted out of their plastic boxes. Yes, they had "It's Gonna Be May," and they did their little dance and ow, ow, ow. And
let me think. Where was I? I was still in college. Okay, I have to think college.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be. Oh, okay. Doing horribly at that.
So think of who is associated with NSYNC, like who's a very popular person who opened for NSYNC before getting extremely popular themselves.
Is it a man or a band?
It is a woman.
A woman. Britney Spears. No, Britney Spears. Yeah, she was huge then.
What song it was by Britney Spears?
Oh my baby.
That was 90. Nope. It was she was wearing that red jumpsuit, and it was like rubber.
Oh yeah. Which one is that?
Oops, I did it again. Play with your heart.
This is bringing me back to college.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it was so fun to go through this list. Okay, I'll give you another.
Give them, Jimmy.
A white rapper.
Eminem.
Yep, and his song, "The Real Slim Shady," was the banger of the summer 2000.
Oh my God, that was
yes,
huge.
I remember finding out about him because I was in college as well, and my brother gave me the tape or
Well,
whatever he had at the time, and I was like, "What is this?"
please stand up. Please stand
Stand
up.
up. And it was all over TRL. Okay, how about a very popular girl group who now has a solo?
Oh, Destiny Child. Oh, yes. Destiny Child was huge.
Had jumpin'. Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballads and the pockets full of rum. And all your fellas leave your girl with her friends. Because it's 11:30 and the club is jumpin'. They got a gap and they got a man, but the party ain't gonna stop, so let's make it hot, hot. You know, like that.
Yes.
I mean, I was just geeking out. Okay, here's one. Her sister was on There's 2 Celebrity Big Brother references in this list. Her sister was on Celebrity Big Brother and might have won.
The Braxton, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Tony Braxton had a song. He wasn't man enough.
Oh.
Okay. So she does this. I mean, I forgot what a banger this song was. Tony Braxton and Robyn Givens, the actress, who also was married to Mike Tyson at one time, who's now she stars in Riverdale. Last I checked, she's in this video.
Oh, wow.
And He Wasn't Man Enough by Tony Braxton is, you guys, if you haven't heard it in a while, go back. It is a banger and a half. I mean,
what is up with you and the word banger? Where did this come from?
Well, it slaps and it's banger, and I just have to say it.
Is Lucy teaching you this stuff?
It's a lot of Lucy, younger subs, just people cooler than me that I'm just
got it.
grabbing it off.
Well,
so
thank you for passing it on to me.
Real banger. Also, this artist had Shannon Elizabeth in his video, and Shannon Elizabeth was on the first season of Celebrity Big Brother, and also we know her from American Pie, and he's a very handsome Latino pop singer who's so handsome. He might have had something removed from his
Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah, I went back and listened to Be With You. And now that you're gone, just want to be with you. Like, they're at like a rave, and he's got a cuff. It's so 2000. I was just like, oh my gosh, I am like gonna get pregnant watching that. It was so great. Like it was, and then Shannon Elizabeth's there, and they're like kissing, and it's just like the Matrix. It's such a good one. Let's see. Other ones include Aaliyah, Try Again. Dust yourself off and try again. And because Aaliyah, she passed away in 2003. Yeah.
Yes.
What a talent. Also, Pink's debut. Remember Pink, There You Go? When she had like the pink little pixie. And she was very
man. I love Pink, and I've loved her from the beginning because she like busted out and she was like, I will not be Britney, and I will not be Christina Aguilera. I will be Pink.
Yes. Yeah, she's like, there you go. Look it pitiful. Just because I let you go. There you go. Talk about you want me back, but sometimes it be like that. I was like, Chel's like, what is going on? I'm like, I am in the 2000s. Like, it was just a rave machine.
I've blocked a lot of this out. I'm not gonna lie.
Bring it back.
But bringing it back does feel okay. It does.
It's so good. Others included Everything You Want by Vertical Horizon. You remember that song? He's everything you want. He's everything you need. He's everything inside of me that you wish you could be. He says all the
I've never heard that group though. Vertical Horizon.
They didn't last long, I don't think.
It doesn't sound like it.
This was good. Also, Breathe by Faith Hill.
Oh yeah, no. If we're gonna talk country, I'm here all day.
Yes. So Faith Hill, obviously, she's a legend. And then I can feel you breathe, or whatever. Okay. And then the last one I found was, do you remember the artist Joe? R&B artist, his song I Want to Know. And I only know about the Joe because my best friend, we would drive to school together in high school. And I think Joe came out like maybe our last year of high school or something. And I would always want to listen to Sublime or Ani DeFranco. She wanted to listen to Joe. And it was like baby making music in the morning on the way to school. Like, I want to know what turns you on. And I was like, can we listen to like some feminist music? And so then that was always the joke, is that we were best friends, but we were so different because she wanted making music and I wanted like reggae or, rock or something. So anyways, I thought that was fun. I should have done the game.
That was fun. That was a great flashback. I had to be like, where was I in 2000? Yeah.
I mean, I forgot 2000. The summer 2000 had some hits.
I believe you.
Real hits.
I just don't remember these things. Well, let me tell you about a hit. No, that's not a good segue because this isn't really a hit. Okay. Big Brother 17's Grandma Meg. Do we remember Meg? Grandma Meg? She got engaged recently to her boyfriend, Mike Holloway, who is the winner of Survivor Worlds Apart.
What?
So don't know if everyone knew they were dating, but they both competed in 2015. Survivor aired first, then she moved into the Big Brother house. Shortly after she got out of the Big Brother house, they met at one of those, reality people meetup things that they do. He lives in Texas. She lived in New York. They did a couple years of long distance. And then she moved to Texas and moved in with him a few years ago. And now he proposed to her and they are engaged. So congrats to them.
I did see, I think, her engagement picture on Instagram. I think it popped up in my little search thing of your little algorithm. But I don't follow her. But congrats to Meg. Yeah. I wonder if she'd ever consider going back on Big Brother.
I don't know. I thought she had started working in casting. I don't know why I thought I heard that. But I had no idea she was living in Texas. But I just love when, our Big Brother and Survivor worlds collide. And
right? There should be more Big Brother Survivor couples.
Sure. I'll take it. Why not?
Because
I just like when we have these couples, no matter what show they meet on.
Right?
Fine.
Well, we might have our first, what would it be? Our first person, if the rumors are true, to go back in the house who's been on now Big Brother and Survivor, being Hayden.
Right.
Of BB13.
We might have that.
We might have
which doesn't usually happen. Like once you move, but kind of same thing with Challenge. Like once you move on, the franchise doesn't always want you back. So this is this unprecedented times we're in, you guys.
Yes. If
different.
The rumors are true, because we never know. There's certain ones that we're seeing that are pretty locked down, it seems like, but then there's other ones who are like, yeah. And then this one, we don't know. Maybe.
Right.
So, but apparently everyone has something to prove this season. Something to prove.
Soon. We're going to know soon.
What does Casey have to prove? Soon. What does Nicole Franzel have to prove?
I think Casey has a lot to prove.
Oh,
that she's a worthy winner. Yeah, I think her and Josh both, they're two winners that are looked at like not really winner quality. And I think that makes you want to go back in and show people that you.
Good point. And
player.
Nicole Franzel, her season, people thought Paul should have won. Because they
I did not.
Yeah.
I will go on record and I will fight you about it.
Yeah. A lot of people said it because I do a little bit like, I was glad Nicole won, but I did see that season of Nicole was not my favorite season of Nicole because I felt like she spent a lot of time playing The Bachelor and hanging out with Corey, and Corey was just so not in the game. He did not know what was going on. And so they just like cuddled a lot. It was just like the cuddle season for Nicole.
It is called a meat shield strategy. It is a strategy. I will write a book about it.
What's a meat shield?
A meat shield is a man and a big, an athletic person in front of you.
Okay.
A meat shield it's really a Survivor term when you have like a big guy who is blocking you and people aren't voting you out because you've got that shield in front of you. So I get it. She gets a lot of hate. I get that people are like, oh, she did was laying bed with him. And I understand what you're saying, but it is a actual strategy. It did protect her and she won the season because of it. So,
and she did have a really cute outfit.
Give the woman a little bit of credit, just a little bit.
And maybe it is a little bit of sexism coming out in people saying that.
Yeah, I don't want to say slut shaming, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it is though. You do see a lot of people out there talking about what's going on under the covers. I've made jokes about it. I've made jokes about it. I'll admit it.
I'm gonna call you on it, Joleen.
I mean, I got to be called on my misogyny too. We all do, because I got some internalized stuff going on, Sarah.
We all do. We all do.
Speaking of misogyny, no, that wasn't a good transition either. Well, we know Kanye's been in the news. They did send people out to Wyoming to the ranch to kind of where he's staying to look at him. Doctor said he's all right. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I do know how I feel about that. I think there's more going on there, but we've seen a lot of tweets and things happening in the news, and he's definitely a little unbalanced, but there have been quite a few. What I found interesting is his peers and other artists going out to check on him, which I think is kind of a nice thing. No matter how you think about Kanye, in this business, there's not a lot of real friends. And one of the first people to do it, I believe, was Dave Chappelle. And I watched the video of Dave Chappelle going out there to visit Kanye, and it was awkward. But Dave has long been someone who's really advocated for not just labeling people as crazy, because it's a very dangerous, stigmatized label. And maybe there's things in Hollywood that are very unhealthy that can cause a lot of these artists to have a downward turn. And I think, that's totally doable. And he had a very I would say legendary interview with the guy from Inside the Actors Studio, where he talks about this, and Martin Lawrence having a public kind of breakdown at one point, and Mariah Carey and things like that. And he's like, maybe Hollywood's a little sick. And then Dave himself left a lucrative show and career at Comedy Central because he didn't feel good about what he was doing anymore, and went to Africa and kind of disappeared. And he chooses to live in like Ohio. So I thought it was nice. Like, Dave definitely is one of those people that he's practicing what he preaches. So I do really like that about him. Damon Dash also went to go check on him. And most recently, Justin Bieber went out to check on him. And
interesting.
So, no word on, Kim Kardashian did put out a statement about Kanye. He was diagnosed bipolar in 2016. And we do know that he from sources have said he's went off his medication and things like that. So, but no one has determined yet, these doctors that visit him, that he needs immediate hospitalization. So he's still out there. And I don't know what's going to happen in their marriage or anything. But the good news part of it, I thought, was that there are people going out there, his peers, kind of checking on him, which you don't always see in this business. People will, once you have any kind of stigma around you, they just leave you. So I thought that was
it's interesting. I didn't know about the people visiting him, but it's interesting the names that you're mentioning have also dealt with, basically the mainstream media being like, they're crazy. Look at what their craziness. And we have to remember, we do not know what is going on behind closed doors. Like, just because we see a picture or we hear, something they say where we're like, what? There's usually a reason behind it. So we do need to remember to add that layer of compassion and not just like call someone crazy. But we also do need to talk about mental health, and we need to get help to those people, whether they're rich and famous or poor and no one knows about them. And whether it's bipolar or something else, like, you need help. You can't just exist with a mental illness. You got to get help. And so
I think in a combination of, mental health issues, and then also Hollywood itself, and being under this microscope, and just it's just a recipe for really disaster. So hopefully, like you were saying, showing compassion, I think, is something, and a great point, Sarah, that these people have all dealt with this public scrutiny. And again, Kanye, he has brought a lot of this on himself through the years, for sure. So, but it is nice to just see other artists kind of having empathy for someone who might be legitimately struggling.
I think that there's it's an interesting conversation of like empathy and compassion, but also holding people accountable. If he's not getting the treatment or not taking his medication, or like, he still needs to be held accountable for that. Like, you can't just run amok.
Yes. And with bipolar disorder, it's something that's still so stigmatized in society. And so many people use it as a punchline of, like, if someone is acting a certain way they don't like, they'll be like, she's bipolar. And they use that instead of any other word they can use. And, we've talked about this before. I myself was diagnosed as bipolar for like 8 years and never had a manic episode until I went and got a second opinion. They were like, you're not bipolar. But this was during I had almost like trauma moment. And so I went to the
Mhm.
hospital, and the doctor met with me so briefly, and he was like, "You're bipolar." And so then I went into outpatient, and then they gave me these medications. I took them for years, but something never fit. I, for a while, defined myself, was like, all right, I'm bipolar. And then I created a web series called Bipolar Becky. I just let it totally define me, but it never truly fit. And I remember Nana, my mom, was like, I just don't think you're bipolar. And I never had a manic episode. But they said I was bipolar 2, which is like a severe, more mood disorder. It's not one, you don't necessarily have the super highs or delusions of grandeur, things like that.
Right.
But, so then I went in LA, and I actually went and saw the psychiatrist, one of the psychiatrists that treated Britney Spears at one point. And he was like in Beverly Hills by the Ivy. It was like fancy. I met with him, and he was like, no, a lot of times the bipolar disorder, especially bipolar 2, he said, is something that people diagnose far too quickly. And what's interesting is I'm someone who has ADD, ADHD. So a lot of women with ADHD can be misdiagnosed with bipolar. It's just so, mental health is always evolving, and there's just so many still stigmas. But bipolar, and I would say borderline personality disorder, are 2 of the worst stigmatized disorders, where people just, if you tell someone, I used to do jokes about it in my comedy, because you would tell someone you're bipolar, they're just like, oh, am I going to be okay? Because you think of it, you don't know the different levels, and it's such a bigger conversation. So if Dave is legitimately bipolar and is having a manic episode, which it does appear that could be happening.
Kanye, you mean?
Or I'm sorry, not Dave, Kanye. I'm just obsessed with Dave Chappelle, but Dave Chappelle could be having it too. No, he's not, you guys. So it's just, I have this, people are like, why do you have this? People are like, forget Kanye, whatever. I don't know. There's just something that I obviously empathize with, because if he is struggling through that, and just myself knowing the stigma of being labeled that was like, it was a lot. I had friends, I had people make comments. I was told to go take my meds. Anytime I had behavior they didn't like, when I was just maybe voicing an opinion. So I really have a lot of compassion for people and mental health things, because it's so easy to dismiss people and just say you're crazy. And then you take away their whole worth. And I hate that about it. So anyway,
absolutely.
I thought that was nice that they were like, just visiting.
Great. Yep. Yes. Justin Bieber, Dave Chappelle, they know what it's like. And that's wonderful that they are stepping up to support their fellow peer.
Yes. So hopefully, good luck. Hopefully everything works out.
Yes.
I
hope he gets all the help he needs.
Right. Should we move on to good news?
Yes.
Or if you have another pop one, go for it.
Well, let me move on to my good news, because I love this story.
Yay.
I want to introduce you guys and tell you about Peter Mutabazi. Peter Mutabazi grew up in Uganda. He grew up in an abusive family and ended up having to run away from home, but was lucky enough to sort of be taken in by someone who became an inspirational figure and, helped raise him. He, as an adult, Peter moved to America, became working, got his life together, and it became important to him to give back in a similar way. So he became a foster parent. He's a single foster dad, but wanted to give back to other, kids going through what he went through, and wanted to be there for them. Okay, now you get to meet Tony. Little Tony, at 2 years old, was given up by his birth parents. At 4 years old, he was adopted by a family, but then at 11 years old, that family dropped him off and never came back for him. They abandoned him at 11 years old. So a social worker calls Peter and is like, hey, we've got this kid. Can you just take him for the weekend? We just need to put him somewhere. So he goes to stay with Peter. But after Peter gets to know Tony and hears the full story of what happened, he never lets him go. And 2 years later, at 13 years old, Tony is officially Tony Mutabazi, and he has a forever home with Peter, and they're an adorable single dad and son.
Oh my gosh, Sarah.
It's so beautiful. There's pictures out there of the two of them. Not that it matters, but Tony is white and Peter is black, and it just is just so adorable.
What's the last name? I have to look up the pictures right now.
Mutabazi.
It popped right up. Okay. Single dad. Oh my God, they're so cute.
It made me cry multiple times when I was reading all about Peter and his life. And I mean, I'm sorry I can't cry for you here on a public place, but know that I did privately.
How precious, and shame on those parents who just let him go. But good thing he was able to find his forever home. You hate to say that about a human being.
Oh my God, you should have already found that, but yes.
You've already found it. But how cute are they? Oh my gosh, you guys, if you want to go, I think Peter's Instagram is Foster Dad Flipper, and I'm going to start following him.
Yep.
And I'm following him now. And so I'm going to follow their journey. Sarah, thank you for sharing this beautiful story. This is I love this. And they have a cute little like Labradoodle type dog too.
They do. They have a dog, and they're still fostering together. They're fostering other kids. Like, they're still just doing some great in the world. And I just love that story.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And I love Sarah. I know Shafika says, LOL, Sarah. And I think it's Sarah's like, sorry, I can't cry for you publicly. Sarah, you are never have to cry for us publicly. We get it. That is beautiful. Yeah, she's doing her. Sarah. We saw a little tear. Oh, I love that story. Thank you for that. And I just followed them. Okay. So there is a Reader's Digest is still a thing. Apparently, I had no idea. But recently, Anchorage, Alaska was nominated as one of the 50 finalists in the Reader's Digest 50 Nicest Places in America contest for 2020. So they're doing a contest of the 50 nicest places. Now, the reason that Anchorage, Alaska is there, and you might want to vote for them, is even though it's a city known for being cold and things like that, the hearts of its residents are very warm because during the coronavirus, they have found homes for the homeless. And I'm not talking about shelters, Sarah. I'm talking about real private homes. During the COVID-19, the community came together and was like, we do not want our homeless population to have to be out living on the streets with winter coming up and COVID and all the things. So the people are supporting this and local businesses. And so when Alaska issued its hunker down order due to coronavirus, the staff at Catholic Social Services knew they needed to act quickly to get the homeless population of Anchorage off the streets and out of crowded shelters to stem the disease's spread and give these people a home. So they have found hundreds of private homes for the homeless community. Now, they fell into a problem with that, though, because they were able to give them homes, but a lot of these people didn't have furniture, toilet paper, toothbrushes, toothpaste. So they started the Catholic services, social services. They started a drive where people could donate, and overwhelmingly the people of Anchorage came out to give so that these houses can be filled with furniture they need, towels, just necessities, and also some comforts, because I'm seeing some Pottery Barn boxes in here. Some really nice stuff, you guys. So, I mean, and they also had, they also raised money after the death of George Floyd to, they raised $23,000 for groups serving Black and Native residents in the area as well. So Anchorage, props to you. What the human beings can do during a global pandemic to make the lives of those even less fortunate better is amazing. And I think we forget that. And Sarah and I, living in Los Angeles County, which has just been devastated by, people, the
homelessness situation out here is awful. It's so bad, and it's really highlighted during this time. And I know it's a tough situation to figure out, but like, this just proves that it can be done. Like, there are solutions, and more needs to happen.
And I love that also too, kind of going back to the roots of like why churches and religion kind of community-wise, like social services, I grew up in a Catholic church, and seeing what kind of they used to do compared to now, and seeing them kind of go, this Catholic social services with finding people homes, and helping people. I think that is awesome as well, because we don't always hear stories about that in this
Right,
day
yeah.
and age, but it's so doable. And I hope that we can do more in Los Angeles as a community to help our homeless population, because it's the highest in the nation. And during a pandemic, I mean,
right.
but props to you, Anchorage. And I'm going to go vote for
Way
you.
to go,
Reader's
Anchorage.
Digest. Yeah.
I mean, yes, right? And Reader's Digest, way to go. I'm probably not going to Anchorage because it sounds cold, but good for you for making stuff work.
Yes, I just thought that was such a good story, because not only did they find homes, but they found the basic necessities and furniture and things that you need to fill these homes for people.
And that's the way, like, if somebody was like, hey, we put someone who has been experiencing homelessness into an empty house, what do you got? I'm sure I could find some things to donate. You know what I mean? Like, everyone can get together and like help out. It takes a village.
It does. It takes a village. But if we start to care about everyone as a whole, rather than just making these blanket assumptions about people and why they got there, I think we would all be a lot better off, because we're a lot closer to, unfortunately, that reality than we think at times, you know.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Not to scare you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. That was supposed to be positive. But, you know, if you just put yourself in their position, you know. So
I think a lot of people don't realize that, like, anything could happen and all of a sudden you're in that situation. So yeah, let's not be judgy.
Yep. And like Black Jack Thompson says, 28 million Americans face eviction next month. I mean, we're dealing with a lot when they want to, you know, they stopped the extra 600 for unemployment. And there's a lot of people who moved to LA due to production, things like that, are speaking out like, I'm on food stamps. I have no, you know, you're cutting my income by this huge percentage. What am I supposed to do to raise my family? I work in production. I do that, you know, so.
Yeah. It's a real tough time for most everybody right now. If you're not Jeff Bezos, you're having a rough time. So,
and I can't wait to see what Jeff Bezos' plan for helping everyone, right? Because I mean, isn't
Bill Gates is doing it, so why aren't you?
Yeah, isn't that why you're don't have to pay taxes?
George Clooney's doing it,
so you could do all your philanthropy. Come on,
yeah, let's go.
Step up, Jeff. Step up, Jeff.
Step it up. Step it up.
So, did you have a last minute, or is that?
That's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I think you can't get better than your story, Sarah, and I'm so excited to be following them on Instagram. And I saw a couple of people in the chat say you're following. Again, if you want to follow them, Foster Dad Flipper on Instagram, 91,000 followers, and there's Peter.
Yeah. He's doing some decent stuff. That's wonderful. I'm all about fostering and adopting. I think it's wonderful.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for joining us for our 11th episode of the Good Pop Podcast. If you haven't already, please hit iTunes to rate and review us. We'd love to just like pump up in the algorithm of iTunes, however this magic of iTunes works, so that people can find us and see us and get their good news and good pop. Sarah, thank you. Mama Bev, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Give this video a thumbs up on your way out, and even comment after it posts. Send us good stories. You can find us on Instagram at Good Pop Pod, and also on Twitter at Good Pop Pod. We would love to hear your good stories or your news you'd like us to talk about. We would gladly talk about it. So
yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jolene.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys. Big Brother's coming.